My girlfriend said, "Ugh, you're so controlling. I can wear whatever I want," before our family dinner. I said, "Absolutely." What she didn't expect was my response when we arrived. Her confidence disappeared when she realized. I, 27 male, learned this past Sunday that sometimes the best response to entitlement is just nothing. Let people make their choices and live with them. Been with Sienna, 25, for about a year and a half. She's in fashion marketing, always impeccably dressed, the kind of person who has outfit of the day posts that actually get engagement. When we started dating, I loved that about her, the confidence, the style, the way she could walk into any room and own it. But over time, I noticed something. Sienna didn't just like attention, she needed it. Every event was about her. Every gathering was her personal runway. She'd wear white to other people's weddings, yes, plural, show up to casual barbecues looking like she was headed to a nightclub, and once wore a bikini top to my coworker's baby shower because it was festival chic. I tried talking to her about it, gently suggesting that maybe a funeral wasn't the place for a neon pink mini dress, that my boss's retirement party wasn't the venue for a see-through top. Each time, same response. "You're so controlling. I can wear whatever I want." Technically true. So I stopped suggesting anything. Last month, my mom called with big news. My youngest sister Bethany was graduating from medical school, first doctor in our family. Mom was planning a celebration dinner at this upscale restaurant downtown, the kind with a dress code and waiters who explain every ingredient. "It's formal," Mom emphasized. "I'm even buying a new dress. Tell Sienna too, this is a special night for Bethany." I relayed the information to Sienna that evening. "Mom's throwing Bethany a fancy graduation dinner Sunday. Formal dress code. The whole family will be there." Sienna was scrolling through her phone. She specifically mentioned it's a formal event. The restaurant has a dress code. She looked up, annoyed. "I heard you. God, why are you already trying to control what I wear? I'm not a child. I'm just passing on what Mom said." "Whatever. I know how to dress myself." Sunday arrived. I put on my best suit, the one I saved for weddings and job interviews. Sienna emerged from the bedroom, and, yeah, she was wearing a metallic silver dress that looked like it was made from those emergency blankets marathoners use. It was short, like I hope she doesn't drop anything short. The neckline plunged to her navel, held together by what I can only describe as dental floss masquerading as fashion. Platform heels that added 6 inches. Her makeup was full Instagram baddie, fake lashes so long they had their own weather system. She looked like she was heading to a music video shoot, not a family dinner. "Ready?" she asked, grabbing her tiny purse. I could have said something. Previous me would have. Instead, "Absolutely, you look memorable." She preened. "I know, right? Your family's gonna die. This dress cost more than some people's rent. I'm sure they'll have strong reactions." The drive was quiet. Sienna was taking selfies, adjusting her dress, checking her angles. I was thinking about my sister, the one who studied for 8 years, survived residency, and was about to start her career saving lives. We arrived at the restaurant, valet parking. The doorman, the kind of place where they pull your chair out for you. Through the windows, I could see my family already gathered at a long table. Mom in an elegant navy dress. Dad in his good suit. Bethany in a beautiful burgundy cocktail dress, looking every bit the accomplished doctor. "After you," I said, holding the door. Sienna strutted in like it was her personal catwalk. The hostess did a visible double take. "Are you with the Morrison party?" "Yes," I confirmed. The walk to our table felt like it took forever. The restaurant went quiet. Not completely silent, but that hush thing that happens when something inappropriate occurs in a nice place. Forks paused midair. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. My family's reactions were a masterclass in Midwestern politeness, barely containing horror. Mom's smile froze on her face. Dad suddenly became very interested in his water glass. My older sister Grace whispered something to her husband. Bethany, sweet, non-confrontational Bethany, just stared. "Hi everyone," Sienna announced, completely oblivious. "Sorry we're late. Traffic was crazy." "We weren't late." Mom recovered first. "Sienna, how nice to see you. That's quite an outfit. Isn't it amazing? It's from this exclusive collection. You probably haven't heard of the designer." We sat down. The waiter appeared immediately. I'm 90% sure the hostess sent him to deal with the situation. Welcome to Crescendo. Before we begin, I should mention we have a dress code policy. Sienna laughed. I'm wearing a $3,000 dress. Yes, ma'am. However, our policy requires appropriate coverage for all diners. The table was silent. Bethany was looking at her plate. My Aunt Linda was taking a very long sip of wine. Are you serious? Sienna's voice went up an octave. This is discrimination. We have complimentary shawls available, ma'am. I'm not wearing some gross communal shawl. I spoke up. They're just following policy, Sienna. She whipped around to face me. Are you taking their side? There are no sides, it's just a dress code. You knew about this. The restaurant? Yes. Your outfit? No, you said you knew how to dress yourself. Mom intervened. Perhaps we could just enjoy Bethany's celebration? Sienna, the shawl might be nice. It's a bit chilly in here. It wasn't chilly. Mom was trying to save the evening. Sienna stood up abruptly. This is ridiculous. I'm being shamed for expressing myself. No one's shaming you, Bethany said quietly. We just want to have dinner. Oh, so now the golden child speaks. Must be nice having everyone cater to you. Record scratch. The restaurant definitely went silent now. Excuse me? Bethany's voice was still quiet, but there was steel in it. This whole dinner is just another example of your family's obsession with appearances. Sorry I'm not boring like the rest of you. I stood up. Okay, we're leaving. We're not going anywhere. I haven't even ordered. Sienna, we're leaving, now. You can't make me. You're right, I can't, but I'm leaving, and I drove. You can either come with me or figure out your own way home. She looked around the table, expecting someone to defend her. Instead, she got Mom studying her menu, Dad checking his phone, Grace applying lip gloss, Bethany taking a sip of water, my Uncle Carl waving over the waiter. Fine, this family is toxic anyway. She grabbed her purse and stormed out, heels clicking on the marble floor. I turned to Bethany. I'm so sorry. This is your night. I'll take her home and come back. Bethany smiled. Tom, sit down. She made her choice. But, sit. I sat. Grace's husband flagged the waiter. We'll take a bottle of the Pinot Noir, the good one. The 2018? The waiter asked. Perfect, and we're ready to order whenever you are. The dinner was wonderful. We toasted Bethany. Dad gave a speech that made everyone cry. Mom had ordered a special cake. The restaurant dimmed the lights and brought it out with sparklers. Other diners applauded. My phone buzzed throughout dinner. I ignored it. When I finally got home around 11 p.m., Sienna was gone. Her key was on the counter with a note. At Jade's. Don't bother calling. You showed your true colors tonight. I didn't call. Monday morning, the text started. I can't believe you abandoned me. Your family is classist. That restaurant was discriminatory. You should have defended me. Are you seriously not going to apologize? Tom. Fine, ignore me. Real mature. We need to talk. I'm coming over tonight. She showed up at 7 p.m. with Jade in tow. Backup, I guess. You humiliated me. She started before she was even fully inside. You humiliated yourself, and more importantly, you tried to make my sister's graduation dinner about you. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I told you. My mom told you. The restaurant told you. You set me up. I told you it was formal. You chose to wear a club dress to a nice restaurant. How is that my fault? Jade jumped in. You could have warned her about the dress code. I did. She said she wasn't a child and knew how to dress herself. That's not the same as saying there's a specific dress code. Actually, it's exactly the same. I said formal. The restaurant has a dress code. These are standard things adults understand. Sienna was rage-crying now. You're so controlling. You probably wanted this to happen. No, I wanted to celebrate my sister becoming a doctor. You wanted attention. You got it. I'm done. We're over. You're gonna regret this. Okay? She blinked. Okay? That's it? What do you want me to say? You made everything about you, insulted my family, called my sister the golden child at her own graduation dinner, and now you're in my apartment yelling at me. Yeah, okay. We're done. She grabbed her things. She'd been slowly moving stuff in while Jade glared at me from the doorway. As they left, Jade said, she deserves better than you. Probably, I agreed. Good thing she's free to find it now. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've heard through mutual friends that Sienna's been telling everyone I'm controlling and manipulative, that I set her up to fail at the dinner. What she leaves out is the part where she insulted a newly graduated doctor at her own celebration. But here's the thing. I don't care what she tells people. The ones who matter know the truth. Bethany texted me the next day. Thank you for handling that so well. Also, Mom wants to know if you're bringing anyone to Thanksgiving. Someone who understands the phrase appropriate attire preferred. My mom called too. I'm proud of how you handled that, honey. Though next time, maybe check her outfit before you leave the house. There won't be a next time, Mom. At least not with her. Good. Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing. Just let people show themselves. Sienna wanted to wear whatever she wanted. She did. She got exactly what she asked for. Complete freedom to make her own choices, and the freedom to live with the consequences. Update. Thought I was done with this story, but the entitlement escalated in ways I didn't see coming. Buckle up. After the breakup, I blocked Sienna on everything and moved on with my life. Started playing in a rec league basketball team, caught up with friends I'd neglected, even went on a couple casual dates. Life was good. Then last week I got a call from my credit card company about unusual charges. Someone had tried to buy $4,000 worth of designer clothes online using my card. Shipping address? Sienna's friend Jade's apartment. Yeah, she kept my credit card info from when I'd let her use it for emergencies. I disputed the charges, canceled the card, and filed a police report for fraud. The detective said it was pretty open and shut since the shipping address wasn't mine, and I had proof the relationship ended weeks ago. But Sienna wasn't done. 2 days later, I got an email from her at my work email. Tom, I've been thinking about our relationship and realized you owe me compensation. I invested 1.5 years of my life in us. I turned down opportunities because I was committed to you. I decorated your apartment. I enhanced your social life. After careful calculation, you owe me $50,000 for my time and emotional labor. This is non-negotiable. Payment plan attached. She attached an actual invoice with line items, including relationship management, $15,000, social enhancement services, $8,000, aesthetic improvements to living space, $5,000, emotional support, $10,000, event planning and coordination, $7,000, opportunity cost, $5,000. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend, who laughed for 5 solid minutes. But the best part, she CC'd my boss and HR, and somehow found my mom's work email and CC'd her too. My boss called me into his office. Morrison, what the hell is this? I explained the situation. He shook his head. Your ex is creative, I'll give her that. Also insane. You need a restraining order. HR was less amused. They had to document everything because she'd involved the company. The legal department got involved when she sent a follow-up email threatening to sue the company for enabling emotional abuse by employing a narcissist. My mom's reaction was legendary. She hit reply all and sent, Sienna, thank you for the invoice. I've prepared my own. Ruining Bethany's graduation dinner. $5,000. Therapy for family after witnessing your behavior. $3,000. Dry cleaning for restaurant shawl you called gross. $50. Teaching my son to recognize red flags. Priceless. Please remit payment immediately. Best, Mrs. Morrison. But Sienna still wasn't done. She showed up at my apartment building on Thursday, somehow got past the door, and started knocking on every apartment on my floor asking about me. Telling neighbors we were engaged, we weren't, that I'd stolen her grandmother's ring. She doesn't even talk to her grandmother. And that she was pregnant. She definitely wasn't. My neighbor Mrs. Guerrero, a 70-year-old retired teacher who takes no crap, called me immediately. Tommy, there's a crazy girl in a weird shiny outfit banging on doors. Says she's your fiancé? Call the police, Mrs. G. She's my ex and she's not supposed to be here. Already did, honey? Just wanted to give you a heads up. Also, she's wearing a metallic jumpsuit to a residential building on a Thursday afternoon. By the time I got home, the police had already removed her. She'd apparently told them she lived there, but couldn't produce a key, ID with the address, or any proof. When they asked which apartment, she got the number wrong. The building management was not happy. They issued a no trespass order and circulated her photo to all staff. Friday morning, I woke up to find my car keyed. But here's the thing. I park in a gated garage with cameras, crystal clear footage of Sienna in yet another metallic outfit, Girl had a theme, keying my car at 3 a.m. How'd she get in? She still had the garage clicker I'd given her months ago. This time the police were very interested. Credit card fraud, harassment, trespassing, and now vandalism. The detective sat me down. Sir, I'm going to be straight with you. This is escalating. You need a restraining order yesterday. I filed that afternoon. Emergency order granted immediately based on the evidence. Court date set for a permanent order. But the universe has a sense of humor. Guess who was at the courthouse at the same time, fighting a ticket for parking in a handicapped space? Yep. She saw me and immediately started screaming about harassment and stalking in a courthouse with several officers present. It didn't go well for her. My lawyer hired him after the invoice stunt, met her lawyer in the hallway. Turns out she was already in legal trouble, the credit card fraud case, 3 unpaid tickets, and now she'd just gotten cited for contempt after her courthouse meltdown. Her lawyer looked exhausted. Your client willing to drop the fraud charges if mine agrees to the restraining order without contest? Absolutely not. She committed felony fraud, she damaged his vehicle, she's harassing his workplace. Had to ask. The permanent restraining order hearing was yesterday. Sienna showed up in, I kid you not, a metallic gold pantsuit, like she was going for a complete metallic outfit collection. The judge reviewed the evidence, the fraud, the emails, the trespassing, the vandalism, the harassment. Sienna tried to argue I was the real abuser because I emotionally manipulated her by not providing adequate warnings about social expectations. The judge actually paused. Ma'am, are you arguing that the plaintiff abused you by not telling you how to dress? He set me up. For what? To wear inappropriate attire to a family dinner? Yes, that's not abuse. That's you making poor choices. Restraining order granted. You are to stay 500 feet away from the plaintiff, his home, his workplace, and his family members. Any violation will result in immediate arrest. Sienna's lawyer whispered urgently in her ear. She shut up. As we left, my lawyer smiled. The metallic outfit collection really helped our case. Hard to argue you're being victimized when you're dressed like a disco ball in court. Last I heard, Sienna's facing credit card fraud charges, felony, vandalism charges, trespassing charges, contempt of court citation, the restraining order. She's also been fired from her fashion marketing job after the company found out she was sending threatening emails from her work computer. Turns out using company resources to harass your ex and commit fraud violates most employee handbooks. Her Instagram is now private, but a mutual acquaintance showed me her latest post. Sometimes the universe tests you by putting toxic people in your path, rising above the negativity and manifesting better things. Blessed, new beginnings, karma is real. The lack of self-awareness is almost impressive. Bethany texted me yesterday. Heard about the restraining order. Mom wants to know if it covers Thanksgiving. She's already planning the menu and wants to make sure there won't be any metallic interruptions. Her words. I'm getting a new apartment next month. Fresh start. The building has better security, no shared garage clickers, and Mrs. Guerrero already gave me 3 references for nice girls who dress appropriately. To everyone asking if I saw the signs, yeah, looking back, they were there. The constant need for attention, the inability to read social cues, the way she turned every event into her personal showcase. I just thought it was confidence. Turns out there's a fine line between confidence and complete narcissism. But hey, at least I learned something. Next time someone tells me I'm being controlling for sharing basic social expectations, I'll take that as my cue to exit. And I'll definitely change my credit card numbers. Update edit. Just got word from my lawyer. Sienna took a plea deal on the fraud charges, probation and restitution. She has to pay back the attempted fraudulent charges plus damages to my car. She also has to take anger management classes as part of her probation. The vandalism and trespassing charges were rolled into the plea. The best part? The anger management classes have a dress code. Business casual attire required. The universe really does have a sense of humor. My girlfriend said, "Your accent is embarrassing. Don't talk when we're around my colleagues." I replied, "Understood." Then I started speaking my native language exclusively at her work events. Her panic when her boss asked me to translate for their overseas client. Original post I, 32 male, Moved here from Poland 12 years ago. Got my engineering degree, landed a solid job at an aerospace company. My English is fluent, technical presentations, client meetings, the works. But yeah, I have an accent. Never bothered me until I met Jessica. Jessica, 29, works in marketing at some fancy consulting firm. We'd been together 2 years, living together for 6 months. Everything seemed good until her company's holiday party 3 months ago. We're getting ready, and she drops this. Hey, quick thing. When we're at the party, maybe don't talk too much. Some of my colleagues are really particular about communication, and your accent can be distracting. I stopped tying my tie. Distracting? She rolled her eyes. You know what I mean, it's just hard to understand sometimes. And these are important people, Wojtek. Image matters in my field. My name's not that hard to pronounce. See, that's exactly what I mean. It's Wojtek, but Americans hear it wrong. Just let me do the talking tonight, okay? I went to that party, smiled, nodded, spoke maybe 10 words all night, watched her introduce me as Walter to everyone. Not Wojtek, Walter. The drive home was silent until she said, see, that wasn't so bad, you did great. Like I was a trained dog who'd successfully not peed on the carpet. That's when I decided she wanted me quiet? Fine, but I'd do it my way. Update 1. Started my plan the next week. Jessica's company had regular client dinners, networking events, weekend golf things, real schmoozy stuff. And she always wanted me there. Apparently having a boyfriend who was an engineer looked good, as long as I didn't open my mouth. First event after the holiday party was a client dinner, fancy steakhouse. Her boss Robert was there, couple other executives, some clients. Jessica introduces me as Walter. He's in aerospace. Robert extends his hand. Good to meet you, Walter. What kind of projects? Jessica starts to answer for me, but I beat her to it. Przepraszam, nie mówię po angielsku. Dead silence. Jessica's face goes white. Robert looks confused. I'm sorry? Jessica laughs nervously. He's joking, Walter. Stop being silly. I maintain eye contact with Robert. Shrug. Nie rozumiem. Jessica kicks me under the table. Hard. He speaks English, she practically shouts. He's being ridiculous. I turn to her, very calmly in perfect English but with my accent turned up to 11. You said my accent is embarrassing, that I shouldn't talk at your work events. So I'm not talking in English. Problem solved, yes? The table goes quiet. Robert clears his throat. Jessica, what's he referring to? She scrambles. It's a misunderstanding. We were joking about accents and no joke, I say, then switch back to Polish. Może zamówię stek? Jestem głodny. Spent the rest of dinner speaking only Polish. Pointed at menu items, nodded, smiled, used hand gestures. The clients looked baffled. Robert kept shooting Jessica looks. She was sweating through her designer dress. Best steak I ever had. When we got home, she exploded. What the hell was that? I followed your instructions. No talking at work events. You know that's not what I meant. Oh? So you want me to talk now? In English, like a normal person? My English with accent, or someone else's English? She threw a cushion at me. You embarrassed me in front of my boss. Funny, that's exactly what you said my accent does. Embarrassing, right? She stormed off to the bedroom, slept on the couch that night. Worth it. Update 2. Jessica tried damage control at work, but Robert wasn't buying it. He pulled her aside, she told me later, during another fight, and asked if everything was okay at home. Were we having relationship issues? Because that dinner was concerning. She begged me to stop. Even did the whole apology thing. I'm sorry I said your accent was embarrassing. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. Okay, fine. Sometimes it's hard to understand. Is that what you want to hear? I want you to admit you're ashamed of where I come from. I'm not. You're twisting things. Am I, Walter? She flinched. Yeah, that one hit. Next event, a cocktail mixer with potential clients. More casual, but still important. Jessica practically held my hand walking in. Please, she whispered. Just this once. Be normal. Define normal. Speak English. Be yourself. Myself has an accent. I don't care anymore. Just please don't speak Polish. I smiled. Okay? She looked so relieved. Poor thing. The event's going fine. I'm mingling, accent and all. Jessica starts to relax. Then her colleague Brittany comes over with someone. Jessica, this is Mr. Yamamoto from our Tokyo office. He's here for the merger discussions. Mr. Yamamoto bows slightly. I bow back. He starts speaking to Jessica in rapid Japanese, clearly assuming she'll understand since she's been bragging about the international deals she's been working on. Jessica freezes, turns to me with panic eyes. Here's the thing, I speak Japanese. Not fluently, but enough. Worked with a Japanese team for 3 years on a satellite project. Never mentioned it to Jessica because, well, she never asked about my work beyond how was your day. Mr. Yamamoto is asking about timeline expectations and wondering if the contracts will be adjusted for currency fluctuations. Jessica's smiling and nodding like an idiot. I step forward. Yamamoto-san, hajimemashite, watashi wa Wojtek desu. His face lights up. We start chatting in Japanese. He's asking about my work. I'm explaining the aerospace industry. We're laughing about the difficulties of learning each other's languages. Jessica's staring at me like I just grew a second head. Brittany's impressed. Jessica, I didn't know Walter spoke Japanese. It's Wojtek, I correct, and Jessica didn't know either. Robert appears out of nowhere. He's been watching. You speak Japanese? And Polish, English, German, and some Russian. But my English has accent, so... I shrug. Robert looks at Jessica. Really looks at her. Interesting. Mr. Yamamoto asks me something about the merger. I translate for Robert. Well, we end up having a 3-way conversation with me interpreting. Turns out some of the contract terms were being mistranslated by the official translator they'd hired. I catch several issues that would have cost them millions. Robert's ecstatic. Offers me his business card. If you ever want to move into consulting, call me. Jessica? She's turned into a statue. Car ride home was silent until, you speak Japanese? Yep. Why didn't you tell me? You never asked. Too busy being embarrassed by my Polish accent to learn anything about my actual skills. That's not fair. Neither is being called Walter. Update 3. The Japanese thing changed everything at Jessica's work. Robert started requesting I attend more events, not as Jessica's +1, but as an unofficial translator and technical consultant. Started getting emails directly from him. Jessica was furious. You're trying to sabotage my career. I'm literally helping your company close international deals. By showing off, by being myself, the person you're ashamed of. I'm not ashamed. I just wanted you to fit in. As Walter, the quiet American boyfriend with no accent. She couldn't deny it. Then came the nuclear option. Jessica's company was hosting a huge conference. International clients, investors, the works, black tie formal. She tried to uninvite me, but Robert specifically requested my attendance. I need someone who can work the room with our international guests, he told her. Copied me on the email. The night of the conference, Jessica was stressed, begging me to be professional. I wore my best suit, the one I bought with my bonus for landing the Singapore contract. Yeah, the one she didn't know about because she never asked about my achievements. Event starts. I'm chatting with a German executive in German, a Russian investor in Russian. The Polish consul general shows up. Turns out we went to the same university in Warsaw. We're laughing, sharing stories, all in Polish. Jessica keeps trying to insert herself, but she only speaks English. She's literally locked out of her own networking event. Then Robert makes an announcement. They're launching a new international division. They need someone to head it, someone with language skills, technical knowledge, and cultural awareness. I'd like to thank Wojtek Kowalski for his invaluable assistance these past weeks. You've shown us what we've been missing. He raises his glass to me. Everyone claps. Jessica looks like she might vomit. After the toast, Robert pulls me aside. That offer still stands. We need someone like you. Jessica overheard. You're trying to poach my boyfriend? I'm offering Wojtek an opportunity, one that values all his skills, not just the ones that fit a certain image. Brutal. Robert knew exactly what he was doing. Update 4. That night, Jessica lost it. Full meltdown. You've ruined everything. Robert thinks I'm xenophobic. Aren't you? No, I just wanted you to communicate clearly. I communicate fine, in 5 languages, you just don't like that one of them has an accent. This isn't about languages, it's about you purposely undermining me. This is about you being embarrassed of who I am, where I come from, my name, my voice, everything that makes me, me. She started crying. Not sad tears, angry tears. I gave you everything, introduced you to my world. Your world where I had to be Walter? Where I couldn't speak? That world? You don't understand how hard it is. Image matters, perception matters. And the perception that I'm not good enough because I wasn't born here? That's not, you're twisting it. Then why did you introduce me as Walter? Silence. Why did you tell me not to talk? More silence. Why were you embarrassed by my accent? She exploded. Because it makes you sound stupid, okay? Is that what you want to hear? You're brilliant, but the second you open your mouth, people assume you're some fresh-off-the-boat immigrant who doesn't belong in our circles. I was protecting you. No, you were protecting yourself from the embarrassment of dating someone foreign. She grabbed her phone, called her mom. I need to come home. Wojtek and I are done. Her mom's voice through the speaker. Who's Wojtek? I thought you were dating Walter. I actually laughed. She'd been lying to her own family about my name. Update 5. Jessica moved out that weekend, but the entitlement didn't stop. Oh no, it escalated. First, she tried to spin it at work, told everyone I'd been deceiving her about speaking other languages, that I'd manipulated her into looking bad in front of Robert. Brittany called me. Just so you know, nobody's buying her victim act. We all heard her call you Walter for months. Then came the financial demands. Text from Jessica. You owe me for half the rent since you made me leave. You chose to leave. You made it hostile by speaking Polish, by humiliating me, by being myself. She threatened small claims court. I sent her a recording I'd made of her saying my accent sounds stupid and that she was embarrassed of me. Legal threats stopped real quick. But the peak entitlement came when Robert officially offered me the position. Director of International Relations, almost double my current salary. Jessica burst into my office. Yeah, my office. She somehow got past security. You can't take that job. Why not? It's at my company. You're not even qualified. I speak 5 languages and have a master's in engineering. But you don't have marketing experience. Robert seems to think my skills outweigh that. This is revenge. This is consequences. She started crying again. You've destroyed my career. Everyone thinks I'm racist. I never called you racist. I just spoke Polish at a dinner, and Japanese at a mixer, and German. Stop. You did this on purpose. I did exactly what you asked. Didn't speak English at your events. Not my fault you never bothered to learn I could speak anything else. Security arrived. As they escorted her out, she screamed, Your accent is embarrassing. I was doing you a favor. The entire floor heard. Robert sent an email about maintaining professional standards and celebrating diversity in the workplace. Jessica got called into HR. Update 6. Jessica got fired. Not for the scene in my office, though. That didn't help. Turns out when Robert started digging into her work, he found she'd been taking credit for other people's international deals. Co-workers who were immigrants, specifically. She'd been repackaging their work, presenting it as hers, while simultaneously acting like they were beneath her. The Hungarian guy from accounting, the Chinese woman from legal, the Indian team lead from development. All had stories about Jessica editing their reports to improve communication, then presenting the work as her own. She texted me from her mom's phone. This is your fault. You started a witch hunt. You started it when you were ashamed of my accent. I hope you're happy. You cost me everything. No, your prejudice cost you everything. I just stopped hiding it for you. Her mom then texted, You should be ashamed. Jessica was trying to help you fit in. By calling me Walter? It's easier for Americans to pronounce. My name is 3 syllables, Wojtek. If Americans can say Schwarzenegger, they can say Wojtek. No response. Last week was my first international conference as director. Gave a presentation on cross-cultural communication in global markets. In English, with my accent. Got a standing ovation. Robert introduced me to everyone as Wojtek Kowalski, our secret weapon who speaks 5 languages and understands what it really means to be international. The kicker? Jessica applied for a job at my old aerospace company. They called me for a reference. She's very concerned with image and communication, I said. Particularly accents. She prefers people who sound American. They hired someone else. The someone else was from Romania. Has an accent thicker than mine. Final update, it's been 3 months since Jessica got fired. Thought I was done with this story, but last week brought one final chapter. I was at a coffee shop, the one I always went to before Jessica made me switch to the better one where her colleagues went. Reading a Polish newspaper my cousin sends me. Actual paper, because I'm old school like that. Someone sits down across from me. I look up. It's Jessica. She looks Rough. Designer clothes replaced with regular stuff. Perfect makeup gone. Just looks tired. Hi Wojtek. First time she'd said my name correctly in months. Jessica? Can we talk? We're talking. I mean really talk. I've been in therapy. I almost laughed. Good for you? No, I mean it. I've been working through stuff about my dad. Your dad? He was Polish. I nearly spit out my coffee. What? Second generation. Changed his name from Kowalczyk to Kowal. Never taught me Polish. Never talked about the family back there. Said it was better to be fully American. You're Polish? Quarter. Maybe half. I don't really know. Dad never talked about it. Just said the old country didn't matter. That we were American now. That accents and foreign names would hold us back. I sat back, processing. So when I heard your accent, she continued, it was like hearing everything my dad ran from. Everything he was ashamed of. And I guess I inherited that shame. That's not an excuse, I know, it's just context. Therapy helped me see it. And you're telling me this why? Because I owe you an apology. A real one. You are proud of who you are, where you come from. You speak 5 languages and I acted like that made you less than. Because deep down I thought it made me less than. Because that's what my dad taught me. She pulled out a business card. I'm working at a translation service now. Entry level. Ironic, right? Surrounded by accents all day. My boss is from Pakistan, has the thickest accent you've ever heard. Brilliant woman. Good for you. I'm learning Polish. Why? Because I want to understand the part of me my dad buried. The part he was so ashamed of that he changed his name and forgot his language. She stood up to leave, then paused. For what it's worth, your accent isn't embarrassing. It's proof you're brave enough to leave everything you knew and build a life in another language. That's not stupid. That's incredible. Thanks. And Wojtek? That presentation you gave last month? I watched it online. You were amazing. The accent makes you sound distinguished, authoritative, real. She left. I sat there with my Polish newspaper thinking about inherited shame and chosen pride. Later, I told Robert the story. He shook his head. Internalized xenophobia. See it all the time. People running from their roots, then punishing others for keeping theirs. Yeah. You know what the irony is? Robert said. I hired you because of your accent. What? It told me you'd bring perspective we didn't have, that you understood adaptation without assimilation, that you could bridge worlds. An accent isn't a weakness. It's proof of range. My phone buzzed. Message from Jessica. Dzień dobry. Still learning. Thank you for the wake-up call. I didn't respond. Some bridges once burned don't need rebuilding. But I did change one thing. Started teaching Polish on weekends. Free classes at the community center. For kids whose parents want them to keep the language. For adults who lost it trying to fit in. Last week, a teenage girl came up after class. Mr. K, my dad says my Polish accent makes my English sound weird. Says I should stop speaking it. What do you think? I think it makes me special. Like I have a superpower. 2 voices instead of 1. Then keep both. Never let anyone make you choose. She smiled and ran off. Jessica was wrong. My accent isn't embarrassing. It's my story. Every rolled R and misplaced article is proof I was brave enough to learn, strong enough to leave, and stubborn enough to stay myself. And Walter? That guy never existed. I'm Wojtek Kowalski. I speak 5 languages, I have an accent, and I'm not quiet anymore.